The reality of agricultural development on the African continent is far from ideal. So in sub-Saharan Africa, the growth rate of agricultural GDP per capita was close to zero during the 1970s. That's a lost decade. In some years during then, it actually was in negative figures. This changed in the 1980s when agricultural GDP growth reached about 2.3% per year, and it increased to about 3.8% a year from around 2000 to 2005. However, this increase was mainly due to an expansion in farmland being utilized and not in agricultural productivity. African farm yields are amongst the lowest in the world. However, in some countries like Zambia, in Liberia, in Mozambique and Ethiopia, they have experienced a strong GDP growth in agriculture. Although there's a strong link between agricultural growth and decreases in poverty, the connection is not that simple and it's not necessarily automatic. If we take Zambia as an example, Zambia experienced vast increases in maize yields from 2006 to 2011, but it didn't see a reduction in poverty. The gains in productivity in Zambia were mainly attributable to large-scale fertilizer subsidies to large farms. Small farms with areas below 1 hectare only received about 7% of these subsidies. So on the positive side, there are two examples where agricultural growth did drive a decrease in poverty: Ethiopia and Rwanda. So according to the World Bank, poverty in Ethiopia dropped by 33% since 2000, with an agricultural GDP growth rate of nearly 10% per year being the main driver. Rwanda's strategy was to focus its production on staple crops. So export crops typically have higher value. Staple crops have larger potential to replace imported food, which points to a promising avenue for growth that reduces poverty. So how can African countries improve their agricultural sector and use it as an engine for economic growth? The strategy depends on each individual country. But there are a few common measures that, when put together, can definitely increase the chances of a country's ability to get agriculture to increase growth and to initiate a virtuous circle of growth.